They've fired guns, dodged explosions, and occasionally look confused while doing it. Hollywood calls them action stars. But real fans are not so convinced. Some can't fight, others barely move. And a few got here just by standing near a green screen while better actors did the hard work. They're rich, they're famous, and somehow they ended up leading a genre built on bruises, grit, and credibility. These are 10 of the most overrated action stars. Gal Gadot looks like a superhero. She moves like a superhero. She even squints like a superhero. But the more action movies she headlines, the more it becomes clear she might just be cosplaying one. Her rise to action royalty started with Wonder Woman, a film where she lassoed lightning, jumped off horses in slow motion, and somehow managed to make a head tilt look empowering. Audiences cheered, critics praised, and DC finally had something that didn't make people cry for the wrong reasons. But here's the thing, Wonder Woman worked because it was stylized, romantic, and backed by enough CGI to animate a Pixar trilogy. Once you pull Gal out of that highly curated environment, the cracks start to show. In Red Notice, where she shares the screen with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. It's an action movie, sure, but watching her move is like watching someone do martial arts based on an Instagram tutorial. Yes, she served in the Israeli military, but so did a lot of people who don't headline Hollywood blockbusters. And despite the marketing spin, she's not a trained martial artist. Her fight scenes rely on camera angles, stunt doubles, and the hope that no one rewatches them in slow motion. Matt Damon, Oscar winner, co-writer of Good Will Hunting, professional best friend to Ben Affleck, and for some reason, the world's most soft-spoken super soldier. Yes, Matt Damon, the same guy who once wept in a therapist's office and solved math equations on a janitor's salary, somehow became one of Hollywood's most bankable action heroes. Thanks entirely to a camera crew that couldn't hold still for more than 2 seconds. We're talking, of course, about The Bourne Identity, a film that changed spy thrillers forever by turning every fight scene into a caffeine-induced earthquake. Here's the truth, Matt Damon is not a martial artist, he's not a former athlete. He's not even especially imposing. What he is really good at pretending to remember things while looking constipated. And somehow that sold billions in ticket sales. Now to be fair, Damon does do a lot of his own stunts. And he trained hard for the Bourne films, but training hard and looking like you can kill someone with your bare hands are two different things. Steven Seagal was once a respected martial artist. A 7th Dan black belt in Aikido, fluent in Japanese, ran a dojo in Osaka. For about 5 minutes in the late 80s, he looked like the future of Hollywood martial arts. Then, he opened his mouth, and everything went downhill. His debut, Above the Law, set the tone. Stone-faced, mumbly, emotionally distant, and somehow able to disarm 5 men with a wrist flick and a hard stare. Audiences bought into it at first. The ponytail, the stone face, it all had a vibe. But unlike other action stars who evolved, adapted, and brought creativity to each fight scene, Seagal settled into a very cozy formula. Walk into room, look bored, break someone's arm, leave, repeat until credits. Now to be fair, his early films like Under Siege, Above the Law, and Out for a Kill did really well at the box office and were good action movies. But as the years rolled on and the waistline expanded, his action credibility dropped faster than one of his co-stars. By the 2000s, Seagal was starring in direct-to-video masterpieces filmed entirely from the waist up. Why? Because half the time it wasn't even him fighting. In Attack Force, his dialogue was literally redubbed by someone else for most of the film, because he either couldn't be bothered or the audio was unusable. There was a time when Liam Neeson played Oscar Schindler. Then he played Qui-Gon Jinn. Then, somehow, he played a retired government assassin who could punch through Europe. Taken was the turning point. It turned Neeson, a respected gravel-voiced actor known for gravitas and grief, into a mid-60s beatdown machine. And credit where it's due, the first Taken worked. He was brooding, pissed off, and had just enough dad energy to sell the particular set of skills thing. But Hollywood, being Hollywood, took one successful idea and beat it until its bones cracked louder than Neeson's stunt double's knees. His action scenes are now mostly a blur of coats, shadows, and camera cuts designed to keep you from asking, wait, did he just take out 6 guys with one elbow and a loaf of bread? The problem isn't that he's a bad actor, he's great, but he's been cast as an action star based on voice and reputation, not physical presence. Angelina Jolie is a lot of things. An Oscar winner, a humanitarian, a former tabloid storm, but a believable action star? That one's always been a stretch, and not just because Tomb Raider was one long commercial for tactical hot pants. In Wanted, she teaches James McAvoy how to curve bullets by slapping him in the face and pouting near some firearms. Jolie isn't trained in any martial art, she's not an ex-gymnast or dancer, she's not even known for doing her own stunts. What she is good at is looking great while chaos happens around her.
This is Sparta!
Gerard Butler has made a career out of yelling, shooting, and surviving buildings falling on his face. His breakout came in 300, where he roared, flexed, and spear-tossed his way through a digital orgy of slow motion and abs. And credit where it's due, he looked the part. Since then, Butler's been riding that Spartan afterglow like it's a Peloton subscription. Each time he plays some version of a grumbly divorced guy with a gun and a problem with authority. He doesn't fight so much as stomp, and his gunfights, let's just say he fires in the general direction of enemies and they fall because the plot says they're supposed to. In terms of fight choreography, there isn't any. Butler's idea of hand-to-hand combat is punching someone in the throat and hoping the camera's too close to notice the missed contact. Philip Ung is a name that keeps popping up in martial arts circles, usually with the kind of quiet enthusiasm that says, trust me, he's the next big thing, and yet he never is. Let's be clear, Philip Ung is absolutely a legit martial artist. Wing Chun, Hung Gar, boxing, the guy has the credentials. He's done his training, he knows his forms, and on paper, he looks like a breakout star. The problem is, he never breaks out, ever. Take Birth of the Dragon, where Ung played Bruce Lee, a role that should have been his moment to explode on screen. Instead, the movie sidelined him in favor of a fictional character. And when Ung does get the spotlight, the energy is more Bruce Lee cosplay than spiritual successor. He doesn't have the raw screen magnetism of Tony Jaa. He doesn't move with the rhythm of Iko Uwais, and when compared to guys like Scott Adkins or Donnie Yen, he seems almost hesitant. He's got the moves, he just hasn't made a move that anyone remembers.
I'm so hot!
There was a moment in the early 2000s when Josh Hartnett was everywhere. Teen dramas, war epics, supernatural horror. Hollywood kept pushing him as the next big thing, and then they tried something truly radical, turning him into an action star. Let's be clear, Josh Hartnett looks like a guy who should be in action movies. Tall, brooding, cheekbones sharp enough to slice a villain. But the moment he throws a punch or holds a gun, it's like someone just woke him up and said, quick, pretend to be Liam Neeson. He often looks like he'd rather be somewhere else, and judging by his sporadic filmography, he probably would. Charlize Theron has range. She's played serial killers, alcoholic moms, and immortal warriors. But in the action genre, she's been crowned a queen, when really, she's still kind of an understudy in body armor. Her reputation as an action icon exploded after Mad Max Fury Road. And yes, she drove a truck through hell and back, while Tom Hardy sulked in the corner. Then came Atomic Blonde, the movie that was supposed to prove she could go toe-to-toe with John Wick. The choreography was solid, but the rhythm, the flow, the intimidation factor, not really there. She hits like someone remembering a dance routine under pressure. You respect the preparation, but not the illusion.
I know, man, if you seen this shit.
Tyrese Gibson is a lot of things. A Grammy-nominated R&B singer, a frequent Instagram philosopher, and the guy who yells no in at least 3 different franchises. What he is not is an action star. Let's look at the resume. He's in Fast and Furious, he's in Transformers. He stands near explosions, he shouts things, he holds guns, and yet, have you ever seen Tyrese actually do anything action-worthy? Like fight, or take someone down, or even run convincingly in a straight line? Unlike other action stars, Tyrese has no martial arts background, no stunt training, no memorable fight scenes. He's in action movies, yes, but he's not leading the charge. He's just there, loudly. Tyrese Gibson isn't an action star, he's an accessory, a guy who holds the flashlight while other people do the work. So, what did we learn? Well, for starters, being in an action movie doesn't make you an action star. You can hold a gun, throw a punch, or stand near a CGI fireball, but if you don't sell it, if the audience doesn't believe it, then all the slow-mo and editing tricks in the world won't save you. These 10 actors made a lot of money. They got the magazine covers, they got the slow walk away from the explosion, but in the end, they're more movie prop than powerhouse. Some never had the physicality, others never had the technique, and a few just kept yelling until the director called cut. And while Hollywood keeps trying to manufacture action icons, real fans know the difference. You can't fake presence, you can't edit your way into intensity, and you definitely can't slap a ponytail on Matt Damon and expect him to save China from alien lizards. This has been 10 overrated action stars. Now go watch someone who actually hits the mark. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.